So, about 1 year ago, Halo 5 was released, and around that point, I made two videos that were really talking about the whole topics between Halo 5 versus Halo Reach, which was better for clans. Well, today we're going to be revisiting those topics, and we're going to be more or less just talking about the games in general, which was better for clans, which was better for the community, and which was a better game overall. So, without further ado, welcome back to another episode of Thoughts and Opinions. So the two videos that I made about a year ago was mainly talking about the Halo clan community and which game was more better for clans. Now, some of the points that I did address in this really did affect the Halo community and was more or less talking about which game was better for the Halo community as well. But one of the main reasons why this topic was even brought up to begin with was because within the Halo clan community, a lot of people were really talking about which game was better for clans. Now, in my honest opinion, I was really more or less pushed towards Halo 5. Mainly because at the time, a lot of people were talking about how to grow the community. And in my opinion, in order to pretty much grow the Halo clan community, you needed to move to the next generation game. And Halo 5 was a game that really could support the Halo clan community. Now, I still stand with this belief that the Halo clan community needs to move on to the next generation game in order to really survive. However, in my opinion today, it's about a year now since Halo 5 has been released, and we've more or less got to experience what the Halo 5 clan community is like. And today I'm just really going to compare what Halo 5 and Halo Reach had and which was really more or less better in the games. So if I was just to sit here right now and tell you guys which was a better Halo game and take away my whole argument that we need to move to a next gen game in order for us to grow, my honest opinion on which was a better Halo game was Halo Reach. Now, the whole reason behind that is because Halo 5 really had a sloppy launch. And in all honesty, the Halo 5 monthly updates was just really killing the community as a whole. And while people did see the Halo 5 community updates pretty much just bringing back player retention, in the long run, as it stands right now, the Halo community is slowly dying, and even the Halo clan community is slowly dying. So 1 year after Halo 5's release, we can pretty much see a lot of the communities just more or less dying down as compared to Halo Reach. One example that we can really compare is the Machinima community. And one of the biggest reasons is because Halo 5 doesn't really support Machinimas that much. It does have third person, it still does have its Machinima mode, however, it doesn't really have a functional theater. And a lot of people can really understand that when you go into theater to record any gameplays, there's going to be a lot of glitches, a lot of rewinds, and all this kind of stuff. And it's more or less covered by other bigger YouTubers than me. But the whole point is theater is pretty much a bust. Now, if we were to compare that to Halo Reach, well, Halo Reach's theater was really functioning, and we honestly seen a lot of Machinimas being created after 2010 that more or less still supported the community and more or less was bringing out and producing good Machinimas such as Rise of the Spartans, the Unsociables, and so much more. Now, Halo 5, it doesn't really have these ongoing series, but it still has some decent Machinimas. Now, if we were to also kind of just talk about the other communities such as the Halo clan community, the Halo clan community really kind of had a peak between the era of 2011 and 2012, as many big clans such as the UN and the UUF were more or less prospering, and other new clans were being created such as DoD and many other clans. Now, 1 year after Halo 5's release, we have really just clans such as Vast and Exodus, Navcom, and even these clans are dying down. And it's not because these clans are bad or anything. It's mainly because the game is not really a game that a lot of people are hopping on. At one point, we literally could see that MCC, according to the Xbox store, had more of a population than Halo 5. And as we all know, Halo MCC really had a lot of problems that made a lot of people think that MCC was a bad game. Now, I pretty much did make a video talking about how MCC was a good game, and I still stand by that point because it's literally 5 Halo games included into one. It's just that a lot of these bugs and glitches really get in the way of the whole game. However, just seeing as MCC is a game that a lot of people are going back to and playing more or less, as Halo 5 is just really a game that a lot of people are just putting down and not really playing that much, is a bit sad and depressing because if we were to compare once again Halo Reach to Halo 5 in sales, Halo Reach in 2010 pretty much made $9.87 million in sales, while Halo 5 in 2015 made $5 million sales. And this is pretty much just really talking about the whole year, what they made within that year. So it just shows that Halo Reach was a better game in terms of sales. But with also player retention, we could see MCC being a better game, as it's really more or less ranking higher as compared to pretty much Halo 5. So a little story that I kind of just really want to talk about is pretty much a couple days ago I walked into my game store that was called EB Games. Now EB Games is pretty much GameStop, but it's pretty much renamed because it's kind of, I guess, in Canada. But more or less, pretty much what I did is I walked into the store looking for an adapter for my Turtle Beach. Now, while I was there, I pretty much was looking at some of the games. And when I was looking at some of the games, I compared Halo 5's price to pretty much Halo MCC's price. And the price difference was really, honestly, on a different scale as well. Halo 5 was pretty much selling for $25, and this was used, while Halo MCC was selling for $50 used. So that right there just shows the different price scale and just game sale that these games are just really selling at. So that's a little story I just really wanted to add on to, but moving back to the topic. Now, moving aside from sales and everything, what did Halo 5 have that made it more superior as compared to Halo Reach? And in all honesty, Halo 5 really only had one thing that made it superior to Halo Reach, and that was its Forge. Now, the biggest reason why the Halo 5 Forge was superior as compared to Halo Reach was because it had a lot of things included into it. We had multiple canvases, we had many tools and objects included into the game, and we also definitely had the whole thing where you're able to forge on PC. So that there is honestly the biggest thing that makes Halo 5 Forge definitely more superior as compared to Halo Reach. However, one thing that we gotta really take into consideration is that these games once again are on separate consoles, and Halo 5 was definitely allowed to have a lot more things included as the console was able to support it, while Halo Reach had a more downgraded console. However, one thing we also got to remember is that at the time of Halo Reach's release, the Forge was definitely something that a lot of people thought was making the game absolutely amazing to begin with as well. So once again, Halo 5 does have a superior Forge, but we have to remember what consoles these games were running at the time. Now, Forge is also really important for other communities such as the Halo Clan community, the custom game community, and even the Machinima community. Without Forge, these communities would really not exist. However, at launch for Halo 5, it didn't really have a Forge community, which made many of these communities really suffer. And one of the biggest problems, even for the custom game community, was that some of the game modes weren't even included into the game, such as Griffball, Infection, and all these many other things, while Halo Reach had all these stuff at launch. So one thing that we got to take into consideration is that the Halo Reach community had interactive community at launch, which could literally persuade people to continue playing the game more or less at a later date. While Halo 5, when people picked up the game expecting to play all these other fun customs that they enjoyed in other previous Halo games, and they didn't see it, they could have just dropped the game as a whole. So once again, we could see why some of these communities are at a decline, such as the custom game community, the custom game community, the clan community, the Machinima community, and so much more. One thing I also want to add is that Halo Reach had a better campaign as compared to Halo 5. There's really not much that we have to dive into. We all know Halo 5 is just pretty much trash. And if we were to really just put up the two campaigns, we could still say that Halo Reach was just better in general. Now, one thing I also want to run over is that the Halo Reach menu was more friendly for players than Halo 5, and a lot of people can kind of disagree with this, as I've seen many other YouTubers and other people talk about how Halo Reach really had a friendly menu, as you were able to just view your armor by just scrolling over it and view your stats, your armor customization, so many other things. As compared to Halo 5, you have to click, you have to find, and you got to search a lot more. But this is just really a little thing that I just want to add in, as it does kind of affect the game to an extent. Another big topic that I want to talk about is that Halo Reach had better armor customization than Halo 5. And this is a controversial topic, and in all honesty, my opinion here, Halo Reach did have a better armor customization, mainly due to the fact that it really was you were able to pretty much customize your helmet, your visor, all these little side extensions, your chest, your knee pads. It was really just there as if you wanted to customize your Spartan to be really anything, as compared to Halo 5, even though it has a shit ton of variants, and I mean a shit ton. you literally were just stuck with like changing 3 different things: your visor, your helmet, and your armor. So that's just really my opinion there on the whole topic of these 3 things. So Halo 5 did have a lot of things that made it better than Halo Reach. One of the biggest things was its whole competitive community and just how it was really brought about. One can say that Halo 5 was really focused too much on the competitive community, but as compared to Halo Reach, we pretty much all can say that the Halo Reach community, or just Halo Reach in general, was a game that just killed off the competitive community as compared to the previous Halo, Halo 3. But Halo 5 definitely did have a good competitive community, and that kind of just leads to the whole matchmaking community. In my opinion, I enjoy the Halo 5 matchmaking. However, if you play Halo 5 matchmaking for way too long, you just tend to get bored, and this is where all these other key sub-communities come into play if you want to stay on Halo for such a long time, such as the clan community, the custom game community, and much more. In all honesty, Halo Reach had a good custom game community and all these other communities. It had a decent matchmaking, but once again, Halo 5 had amazing matchmaking in my opinion. Warzone, BTB, all these other stuff, even if some of the stuff were added later, it was still a good thing. But when you wanted to come down to playing like custom games and whatnot, if you were like there at the beginning of launch, you would pretty much kind of be just SOL, shit out of luck. So this is just my opinion right now, and I'm gonna say it right now. I probably stated it at the beginning of this video as well. Halo Reach was a more better game as compared to Halo 5, and it was even better for the Halo Clan community, Machinima community, and all these other communities. Moving on, I don't want to see the Halo 5 clan community die, or sorry, the Halo community die as a whole. It's the game that I more or less rely upon making videos and playing on a lot of my time. So yeah, that is it. That is really all I really wanted to talk about. What is your guys' thoughts? Leave them down in the comments below. My name is, I guess, DividableHalo HD, and I'll talk to you guys all later. Bye.